welcome once again to Tiki Trail Live. Jeff Ballard here. I'm your host, as I am every week, 93 times now, bringing this to you. All the Tiki fun, all the Tiki people, artists, musicians, mixology, we're doing it all. Just like if you were at a real live in-person marketplace, this is Tiki Trail Live, the virtual marketplace. So it's kind of cool. We started it back when the pandemic started, which feels like that's been our whole lifetime. Now as things are ramping up and doing things again, hopefully we'll see that crash soon and be able to safely get back out there. I've seen and heard about quite a few places that are closing this week or closed recently. I'm here in Indianapolis. The Inferno Room had to shut down over the weekend, unfortunately, for a little bit. And I know Strongwater and Anaheim had to close down for a little bit. Hopefully, we're going to get past all of this and get back out there again. And there are places that are doing that, which is cool. So if you do go to those places, make sure you're out there being safe. We need to kick this thing in the butt so we can finally have fun and be mask free and worry free and all that kind of fun stuff. Anyway, I'm going to get off my high horse now. Let me go ahead and we're going to fire up our show for this evening. So we'll go through our guest list. Tonight, another great show that we have. We've got for our pour along, we've got Amy Theodore of, I'm going to say Palapa. I'm hoping I'm saying that right, Palapa in Long Beach. We've also got, let's see, Sarah Ann Stevens from St. Catharines, Ontario, who's going to be providing us the music for this evening. We are going to be then going to our featured guest. Sarah's way up in Canada. And then it's a world famous thing, just saying. So Sarah's in Canada. Then we're going to go back down to California, talk with Christopher Burkhardt with stellar shows and concerts, as well as a new cool hip bar right there in the Huntington Beach area. So we'll be, and I think the bar's in Long Beach. We'll talk with them, both of them. Afterwards, we're going to do the Makani Marketplace. We have Luna Customs, BX Custom Sewn, and Ryan Solski. So we're going to be all over the place tonight. I always joke around saying this is a world famous thing. It's world renowned. We have guests from Australia. We have guests from Europe. Tonight, we're loaded with Canadians. So just saying, it's going to be a really nice show, eh? We have to speak to our Canadian audience there. All right, so enough of my silliness, enough of what I'm blathering on about. Oh, by the way, before I get into our guests, one thing I wanted to tell you that, once again, tonight's show brought to you by Tiki Comer, the Tiki Comer app that we have. We do have a Shaka code for tonight's event. That is C as in Charlie, 772. If you have the Tiki Comer app, you simply go into it, hit Shaka by code, and you'll get the card for tonight's event. If you don't have Tiki Comer app, go to your favorite application, your app store on your iPhone or your Android, and download Tiki Comer app. And it's a great way, fun way to collect the people, places, things that make up your own personal Tiki Trail. So anyway, with that said, I'm now going to move into our regular scheduled programming, and I'm going to bring up Amy Theodore. How are you doing, Amy?
I am good. How are you?
I am doing really well. Like I said earlier tonight, it's the middle of the week. I'm wearing a goofy hat. What could be better, right?
Love it.
And this hat, by the way, is from our lovely Fez friends who were on a couple of weeks ago. So make sure to check us out every week. Anyway, Amy. So I keep wanting to call you Samantha because the Zoom says Samantha, but you're on Sam's phone. You are Amy indeed. Yes. So tell us a little bit about, did I say the name right? Palapa?
Yes, you said it right. So we're here in Long Beach, and our restaurant is called Hola Mexican Kitchen. But basically, we have a spin-off restaurant called Palapa. It's right outside of Hola Mexican Kitchen. And we have a separate cocktail list, in-depth recipes, and we actually have a Spanish Mai-Tai, which I know works perfectly with the Tiki community. And it's kind of like a Spanish mix on the traditional Mai-Tai.
Nice. Yeah, it was looking very nice. It looked like a very tasty cocktail. So let's go ahead and get started on that.
Perfect. All right. So I like filling a normal pint glass with ice. That's like how I like to start. So we do 1.5 ounces of real McCoy rum. A lot of people like to use jiggers, but here we just use counts. So if you're pouring along, you can do 1.5 in a jigger. But so we do a 4 count is approximately the same as 1.5 ounces. So we do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we do 1/2 ounce of liquor 43, Spanish liqueur, and we do about a 2 count. So 1, 2. And then, so we have our pineapple juice, our orange juice, and you kind of just do a splash. So a little splash, and then.
Ask, so doing it by the count. So if I talk really slow, am I going to have a much better drink?
Yes, I guess you could say that. Yeah. Here, but there's nothing wrong with that. So then we've got what makes it a Spanish Mai-Tai. We use lime juice, so that a traditional Mai-Tai doesn't have any lime juice. So I just do a couple of squeezes of that, and then we shake it up. Shake it up. And how we do it here is over in a martini glass over a big cube. But if you don't have big cubes, that's fine. You can do it on the rocks. It's delicious any way that you make it. So
there's my strainer, and then we strain it over this cube. And then the final touch is a dark cherry shrub. So we do that kind of at the end, like this. Perfect. And then garnish it with a dark cherry. And this is our Spanish Mai-Tai.
Where did this come from? How did you come about making this cocktail or developing this cocktail?
Oh, I can't hear.
So where did this cocktail come from? What brought you to this cocktail for this evening? Oh, can you hear me?
I'm sorry, I think we're one.
And they're gone, just like that. Wow. Okay. So let's raise up the glasses and we'll have a toast. Sure, we'll do that. And hopefully our bartender will come back here very soon. So mahalo, thank you for joining. Glad to see you guys here every week. Oops, Sam's coming back in. Glad to see you all here every week. And let's see if we can get them back. They're connecting to audio. Here we go. And now they're sideways. So they're all just going to sit and watch and see how they do.
Hello.
Hi, we hear you now.
Hi. There was some, our Wi-Fi must have been a little poor, but we're back on.
All right.
Did you guys finish seeing the cocktail being made?
We did. We saw it
Perfect.
right up to the very end and seemed to have lost you. Oh, there you are. Saw it right up to the very end. So yeah. And the question I was asking is, how did this cocktail come about? What brought this cocktail to you tonight?
Well, I know the Tiki community and you guys, it's like an awesome community. I worked at Don the Beachcomber for about 6 years. So when Samantha brought this idea to me, I was like, perfect. Palapa isn't quite Tiki. We have some Tiki things, some Tiki drinks and inspired drinks. But when she came to me, I was like, perfect. I have the perfect cocktail, Spanish Mai-Tai. Hola Mexican Kitchen is a Mexican restaurant. So this is our Spanish twist on the Mai-Tai. So I thought it would be perfect for your show and perfect just for this scenario. So
very nice.
I hope you guys like it.
Yeah, and unfortunately, as I tell all my mixologists each week since October 1st, I'm moving and my home will be ready. My house will be ready at the end of March. So until then, I'm in this lovely temporary home. So all my mixology stuff, all my booze, everything's all in storage. But I'm capturing all of these cocktails to make sure to have them, because so as soon as I do open up my new home bar, I've got a lot of drinks to make. So I'm looking forward to that. This one sounded really good. I'm really excited to try this one out. I love the Liquor 43. I had a chance to meet those guys at Tiki Oasis last year, and it was really cool. I love the taste of it. So you were at Don the Beachcombers?
I was.
Yeah.
I started work. I'm 30 now. I just turned 30. I started working at Don the Beachcomber when I was 18. And I worked there for about 6 years. So I worked there until I was about 24. And yeah, I got a good feel about the Tiki community. I worked at Tiki markets along with Samantha, and have all these vendors in our Tiki room. And it was a good time. And yeah, so that's like my background on the Tiki community.
Well,
but now
you got introduced to the right way. Let me tell you, that's a great way to get introduced to the community.
Yeah.
The origin is a closely guarded secret. So was this something that was invented? The drink you guys have here, that was made at Palapa, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So we have Hola Mexican Kitchen. This is like our spin-off little location. So we wanted to create a menu that was different. That was not all. So Hola is a Mexican restaurant. So we wanted to create a menu that was, like not completely margaritas, just different kind of stuff. So this cocktail got strictly created for our environment we have here. If you're here for sunset, if you're here during the day, we have an amazing view. It's like a lounge type of deal. Palapa is, what was that? Oh, the marina. Yes, we're overlooking the marina. So this was just kind of one of those cocktails that we were like sitting back, relaxing, having a Mai-Tai, but also incorporating with our Hola restaurant. Just perfect little mixture of liqueur.
Awesome. So thank you very much for joining us and bringing this lovely cocktail. I can't wait to get back to Southern California on my next trip and check out the bar there.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for having me. This was so much fun.
All right. Thanks for helping us get the show started off. Thanks.
Oh, you're welcome. Let me know how you like the drink if you guys make it yourselves.
Oh yeah, no, we have people that make it. Carbon looks like he's made it. I think he's liking it from what I can
perfect.
see.
I love that.
Yes. All right. Thank you
guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
All right. So now we're going to go from sunny Southern California, Long Beach, right off the water. And we're going to mix it up a little bit. We're going to go to the Great White North, all the way up to Ontario. So welcome, Sarah.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you just fine. So we have Sarah Ann Stevens, who is joining us tonight to play a couple of tunes on the ukulele.
Wow.
I'm glad to see you have your clothes on tonight. Sarah, you did one of the, as I was saying before the show, you did probably one of the best Tiki Trail live promotion videos I've ever seen. I think we shared it on our social media as well. So, man, as somebody that moved back to the Midwest, I'm trying to deal with this frigid cold. And when I say frigid, anything down in the single digits. If I can count the temperature on one hand, the degrees of the temperature on one hand, that's cold. And yet you do a video of you playing a ukulele out in the snow in a bikini.
In a bikini, because you know what, like you're not really enjoying the winter if you haven't really felt it. So that was part of it. Plus, I love the ukulele. It warms my heart. Is that really, it's a true thing. It's a beautiful little instrument. And I find that it kind of inspires me to go and play in a lot of weird places because it's small, it's portable. I actually call it my youth bikini sometimes because it does cover up exactly the right spots. But essentially, yeah, this little instrument has warmed my heart for 6 years. I've been playing for 6 years. And it has brought me more happiness and more joy, and it has introduced me to more people around the world than anything I've ever done before. It's a phenomenal instrument. And it's not 100% tiki, it's very, Hawaiian, but I know the Polynesians, and nobody's going to say no to a happy little instrument, and when it starts to play, most people just really like to listen. And here, I got someone saying, aloha, Sarah. Hello, Samantha. Is that our mixologist? I wish I had something to drink aside from water and lime, but I'm teetotaling tonight.
Oh, that's too bad. I didn't know Canadians did that. I thought you guys had like beer all the time.
Beer all the time. Nope, not this one. So I have a sick household. I'm healthy, so probably because I go out in the snow in my bikini, that keeps my, keeps me strong.
You've got the Polar Bear Ukulele Club going, I think.
It's truly, you know what? I actually think you may have started me on something there. The Polar Bear Ukulele Club. That's just about it. But no, truthfully, I actually am dreaming of warmer climates, and so I'm just embracing the cold in hopes that I'm going to wake up from this godforsaken dream that I'm in. We have a whole lot of snow. We just went out and dug our driveway out. We couldn't even leave the house today. There was no getting booze. It was just dealing with what I had in the house. And it was definitely a challenge because we're not used to this. We haven't been getting that much snow, and we got dumped on big time in the last little while. So, and apparently there's more coming tonight. So I may not leave the house yet.
Well, apparently this is the longest Indiana's gone at this time of year with no snow.
Wow.
So apparently we sent all of the snow to you guys. I think
I believe you did. Thank you so much. We had a very mild fall, so I know we're paying for it in shovelfuls of snow now.
Yes. All right. Well, I'm going to shut up and let you go ahead and play some tunes for us.
All right. Well, first of all, this is, like I said, this is what I'm really dreaming of. It's Fly Away by Lenny Kravitz. Okay, here we go.
I want to get away.
All right, I do want to fly away. I wish I could just like exit from Canada right now, go down to sunny California. But hey, I'm here.
I don't know if you
So
want to do that. You may not be able to get back into Canada without having to quarantine.
I'm not allowed to leave Canada. They have said, do not leave Canada. And then I've heard in the US, they're not allowing people to come to Canada. So
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on, but it's definitely not very nice for those who stuck up north in, my mom's in Florida. She keeps calling me. She's like, it's only 60 degrees. It's really cold. You know, it's not that good here. And we have total freedom, she says. So we're all masked up and we're definitely dealing with a lot. So you know what, that's why I thought, what a better thing to do than to dream about being a dragonfly, flying away over the seas. And that's what I want to do. I hope everyone has a chance to do that really soon, because I know we've all been kind of stuck in one place for a long time. So I also want to tell you about a little initiative that a friend of mine, and we started 5 years ago. It's going to be the 6th annual one coming up this October 2022. And we play Stand By Me. It's a worldwide event. We do a virtual flash mob for peace, because we believe that ukulele is such a peaceful instrument that if everyone played it, that there would be no more fighting in the world. Because when people sing together and people drink together and people laugh together and they share these things that bond us as humans, it's really hard to hate your neighbor, you know, or your people who are different. Because I think when like the ukulele community is so varied on the internet, it is, we get people from all over the world who take part in this. And it's the first Sunday in October. So it's Stand By Me by Benny King. If you guys want to join in this October, we usually get Kala, who made this lovely ukulele. They will give away, we draw randomly from all the people who take part in our ukulele virtual flash mob for peace. Again, that's 6 years. My friend Ron Talpner and I have been hosting this, and it has been growing exponentially, just like this fabulous little instrument is seeing a heyday again. And so glad to be a part of it. So this one is—
So Sarah, I'm going to throw out a tagline for you guys.
Okay, what is it?
Ukes, not nukes.
Yes!
There we go.
That's actually our hashtag.
See, there you go. I knew it was a good tagline.
It's a great tagline, and it's truly—
I never said I was original.
My kids like to sit, they're all into, you know, into the technology. They like to sit there and tell me, it is a good one. They like to sit there and tell me about all the technology, about these subs that are going around the world, and about hypersonic missiles and all these things. And again, if we could just put a little more money and time and effort into singing together with our friends, then I think that the world could be a much more peaceful place. So here we go. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, and the dreams that you dream of, dreams really do come true. Someday I wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where trouble melts like lemon drops, high above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, and the dreams that you dare to, why, oh, why can't I? Well, I see trees of green and red roses too. I'll watch them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue, clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than we'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Someday I'll wish upon a star. I'll wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where trouble melts like lemon drops high above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. And the dreams that you dare to dream, why can't I? All right, guys, don't stop dreaming. What happens?
Probably saw everybody doing this because on the Zoom with everybody muted, this is now the pandemic clap instead of the golf clap.
Ah, very sweet. Okay, I like it. Actually, no, I've just got myself. I was looking at just myself because for some reason I don't have everybody. Let me see here. Participants 21.
Yeah,
I don't have a little square though. So anyways,
you go up to the top right, you can hit gallery and it'll show you everybody who's in.
Show me everybody. Okay, I'm afraid let me see, top right and gallery. No, I just have leave at my top right. I don't want to leave.
Oh yeah, no, we don't want you to do that. No.
So thank you for giving me this opportunity to play. I have just a thing for the ukulele. I love it so much. And you can probably see, I'm just going to give you a little quick tour here. This is my infamous ukulele wall. There's a couple of, wow. Yeah, it goes up and up and up and up, and it goes over and over. And it has now sort of headed into into one of our closets. I've got about 5 or 6 hanging ukuleles. So they are really a wonderful instrument, and you can never have enough. Apparently there's a sickness and I've got it. So.
Well, it's a beautiful sickness that you have. So congrats on that. That is awesome.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. Yes, they all get played, not at the same time, but I've got 5 people in my family, and I've got one son who is he's a bagpiper, but he also plays ukulele all the time. My husband plays, and I've got my youngest trying to learn. You know, the little ones never want to do it, but hey, we're working on her. So
nice. Well, that's awesome. So yeah, I don't think we've seen any other questions here in the chat. So again, thank you very much. Stay warm.
I will. And I'm probably going to head out because it's getting late and I've got kids asleep. So thank you so much. Yeah. I'm so happy to be here. And I wish I had, like I said, I just got lime and water. So I'm going to head out and get that booze tomorrow when our roads are finally plowed.
And we've got your social media information in the chat. We've got all that in there.
I look forward to watching the rest of it. I'm glad you're recording.
Yes, we are. And I'm posting actually. So that's even better.
Awesome. All right.
All right. Thank you very much, Sarah.
Cheers, everyone.
Bye-bye. All right. Well, that was awesome. And I'm just cold thinking about her out there in the bikini, in the snow. So I guess it's time. Let's go to Southern California, and meet up with our featured guest for this evening. And Christopher, how are you, sir?
I just want you to know that here in Long Beach, the temperature dropped to 60 today.
Oh.
And everybody put on their sweatshirts and turned on their heaters. It was cold.
Yeah. Don't talk to me about 60 being cold anymore. Christopher Burkhardt, Stellar Shows and Concerts. Welcome to the show. I know we're going to talk about which are we talking about, man? You got so many businesses going on. You got a concert business, and now you got a new tiki bar.
I am the curator of the music at Secret Island in Long Beach.
Nice. Okay.
8-10 years ago, when Down the Beachcomber was still open, we spent 5 years presenting music in that location.
Mm-hmm.
Which was awesome because they had 3 separate showrooms with stages and sound systems. We presented everybody from Tikiyaki 5-0 to Asleep at the Wheel. We had a whole lot of fun for 5 years. So last October, when Secret Island finally opened up, which is a bamboo bend designed tiki speakeasy in downtown Long Beach, I was excited to be able to work with them to present the music. So we call it the Secret Island Tiki Restaurant and Music Lounge. We have live music 4 nights a week, Thursday through Sunday. We have a nice stage. We have a dedicated sound man, but that's not the whole story. The whole story really is the drinks that they make and the food they present. Secret Island has everything going on, and they've just recently hired an ex-bartender from Down the Beachcomber, there's that name again, to help them with their mixology and get things squared away at Secret Island. So I'm pretty proud of that.
Very nice.
Some of the dishes that they have there include the Moco Loco, or I'm sorry, the Loco Moco. And that's one of my favorites. They have a pineapple stuffed chicken dish. They have an ahi poke bowl and all the traditional drinks, including some of their original ones, such as Pele's Fire. Now, Secret Island is dedicated to Pele, the goddess of volcanoes. And so they've named a drink after her. It's a spicy rum and juice drink. And when you order this drink, they push a little button and all of a sudden the entire place turns into a thunderstorm with lightning and black lights, lava coming up through the floor.
Nice.
It's quite an experience to see what they're doing at Secret Island. Kind of like a Disney experience.
Yeah, I was just thinking it's like a Trader Sam's.
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can share this photo. This is one of the, I bet I didn't get it, did I?
Yeah, I've got half the picture up here, it looks like.
You got a big picture of the entrance to Secret Island?
Nope, we're looking at the tiki mug right now. Or a carving. That's a tiki statue.
How about this one?
That's the Loco Moco.
Okay, now I get what's going on. Okay.
And we're only seeing about half of your picture for some reason.
Great. How about now?
There we go. Now we're seeing it all.
All right, that's the entrance to Secret Island. When you walk into the speakeasy, you go down a tunnel and it's dark. And all of a sudden the lights come on, the thunder flashes, the sound of the rainforest happens. And it's quite an experience.
Nice.
It's got one of the longest tiki bars I've ever seen. A lot of high-end rums, and they really make this place happen. There's that chicken bowl I was talking about.
Oh man, that looks awesome.
Now, when we did our grand opening back in October, we had the Hula Girls band play for the grand opening, and they knocked the place out. We did 2 seatings that day, and both were sold out. But of course, the Hula Girls, it was their reunion after 2 years of not even playing together.
Yeah.
Pretty proud of that. And as you can see, I've transitioned over to the music side.
I did notice that. Nice transition.
So let's talk for a minute about what we're doing over there at Secret Island. Not only do we have live music 4 nights.
Oh, you want to take the screen image off, unshare your screen so we can get back to you. There we go. Cool.
There I am. What a pro. even though we opened in October, we've already produced 60 shows at Secret Island. I'm really proud of that. This weekend especially will be our 60th show on Saturday. And that happens to be the Surf Tones Trio, which is one of the oldest surf bands in the state of California. Used to be all the surf bands came from California, not anymore. But let's talk for a minute about some of the bands we've had there in the past. Dick Dickerson's Ventures Mania. We had Dave Stuckey's Hukalau Hot Shots just recently. We had Tiki Tronic this past weekend.
I saw that. That looked like that was a great event.
The Volcanics have played there, the Martini Kings, Big Boy Combo. We're hitting all the traditional tikis as well as bringing in exotica, vintage jazz, hula billy, surf, bossa nova, and even some jump blues. Every Friday now we have Mondo Durami's Bossa Nova Friday. So anyone that wants to come into this Tiki Speakeasy will find some of the greatest musicians and the coolest music. What a scene we've got going on there on those nights. There's even a dance floor. Sometimes there's no cover. For Mondo, there's a $10 cover, and it's well worth it. And also we presented Nat and her Tiki Tigers, a new band called Shorty's Swinging Coconuts, who's coming back next month. We had
Now,
the
is
Satin
that
Dolls one time.
Shorty from
Shorty from the Hula Girls.
Nice.
He's got his own band now. We even brought in the Bell Furies. Remember the Bell Furies?
Yeah.
They broke up at Down the Beachcomber. It was the last place they played, and that was 5 years ago. But we brought them out to Secret Island because we wanted to make a special event out of that. I could go on. There's more bands, but I'm more interested in talking about what we've got coming up. And that is, we've got the Black Ball Bandits coming up. We're bringing in Surfer Joe from Italy. We have the Surf Tones this Saturday, and the Hot House Gang is coming next month as well. So we're pretty proud of all the music that we're presenting at Secret Island. We hope that you guys can all show up sometime and see what this is all about.
Well, I tell you, I mean, I've been a big fan of yours and your work since the Down the Beachcomber days, because I remember going in there and I would see the posters of all the acts that were coming. And it's like, I wanted to be there every weekend. I wanted to be there every night to see all these bands. So amazing that you're like the king of the Southern California tiki music. I'm going to leave it at that.
Please.
So talk to us a little bit about how you got here. I mean, there aren't many people doing this just for tiki music. So it's a rather unique spot. What put you in this role?
I just love roots music of all kinds. I work with different venues around Southern California. We bring in Western swing and rockabilly and honky tonk, but at Secret Island, we're trying to keep it more focused toward the more exotic stuff.
Right.
And we even bring in DJs too. And these DJs that come in and do a show like the Pink Panther Party, where everyone shows up dressed as the Rat Pack in the 50s and dance all night to that kind of music. It's so much fun. Being a live music purveyor, I've never become accustomed to presenting a DJ, but since we opened Secret Island, we've found 5 different DJs that all create some beautiful exotic music and do a wonderful job getting the people dancing, drinking, and dining.
Yeah, it's music is definitely a key component. We had somebody on a few weeks ago that traveled around the country to all these different tiki bars, and we talked about the drinks, we talked about the decor, and that's why I brought up, all right, so talk to us about the music that goes in, because music sets the tone, really, no pun intended, but it sets the tone for what the experience is like.
And what I love about Secret Island is they have a dedicated sound engineer for every show I do, whether it's a DJ or a live band or an orchestra or a combo. They really care about the music they're presenting, just like they care about their food quality and their drinks.
Yeah, that's incredible. And we had one of the people in the chat asking about streaming the shows that you do. Have you thought about doing any kind of streaming for folks that are not in the area?
We do stream all of our shows at Campus Jacks, which is more of a jazz club. And at Secret Island, we don't have that set up. However, there is a radio station that shares the space with Secret Island. And we have plans in the works to present a live radio broadcast in the future.
Nice.
So I'm glad you brought that up. That's something I'd forgotten about. That's the kind of thing that that we not only can show live, or I'm sorry, present live music over the radio waves, but we can also pick up older shows and run those as well. Awesome.
So yeah, that's really good, especially for I hate saying this now, those of us that don't live in Southern California, we don't get a chance to see these things and attend these.
Come on out here on vacation is all I can say.
Oh, I've already got plenty of business trips lined up. It's just I got to get this damn COVID thing to settle down, apparently. So yeah. So speaking of which, I mean, tell us a little bit about, how that impacted your business. I mean, you obviously came out of it very well because you're back going and doing shows again. But what was that impact like?
Well, for 2 years during the main pandemic, we presented live shows outdoors in a big circus tent at Campus Jacks. And that kept the music going, and we would get crowds of 40 to 50 people, all socially distanced. Nowadays, we've taken the tent down, and then of course Omicron comes along. Because we are restaurants, we serve food and drinks, so we're not as strict about some of the requirements that other bars and clubs might be.
Mm-hmm.
Nonetheless, staff wears masks, we recommend vaccinations, and of course we keep people as far apart as we can within reason.
Right. Yeah, no, that's good. And that was difficult for everyone to get through. So I'm glad that you were able to do that. And what a great way to do it, doing the outdoor live concerts. So talk to us a little bit about, what's your vision for what you're bringing into the club?
To Secret Island?
Yeah.
The vision is to keep as much eclectic roots and tiki music in front of you as possible. And we're after 60 shows, we're gradually figuring out what it is the audience really wants to see. So we're doing less and less of the residencies and more of bringing in one-offs. Like we've got a band called Hunka Hunka Hula coming in from some other state.
All I'm picturing is a bunch of buff guys in hula skirts and coconut bras. Thank you for mentioning that. I need to get that image out of my head.
Hunka Hunka Hula, all dressed up as Elvis, right? We'll see. But it's fun. It's fun finding all these new bands. And if anyone out there has recommendations for tiki music, I'd love to hear them.
Well, I know you had Jason Lee quite a bit at Don's. I don't know if he performed at Don's. I don't know if he was part of your shows.
He has become my holy grail for this show at Secret Island. We've been trying to get a date set for months, and we still don't have one.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to when you have that one set up. So where's the best place for people to track online? Should, hey, we've got a few days, we're going to make a run to Southern California, or I'm going to come out there on vacation. Where can we check out, or if I'm living in the area, where can we check out your schedule?
For Secret Island, it's w.thesecretisland.com.
Okay.
We keep that up to date every day. It's got the menu listed. It's got all the bands listed, the past, present, beautiful photo gallery. So you can check the place out that way.
Nice.
For the shows we do at Campus Jacks, stellarshows.net. That's my company I've had for, 8 years now.
Yeah.
.net.
So how did you get started in this? How did Stellar Shows get started for you?
I've been presenting music since 1976, when we used to close off a street in Kalamazoo, bring in a hay bale stage, throw the bands up there, have a big art fair, and it was just a big hippie hoot. And ever since then, music has been my passion.
Nice.
Nothing commercial, nothing mainstream. It's all roots music.
That is beautiful. And I don't have to ask you how you got from Kalamazoo, Michigan to California. Believe me, I know that story.
As fast as I could.
Yeah, exactly. And good on you for staying there. I'm saying that now because I'm freezing my tuchus off. So in 8 years, what's been well, I'm going to ask a twofold question. So the first part, what's the biggest band? What's the biggest act that you've worked with? Because I've seen some pretty cool names.
Asleep at the Wheel, Lucinda Williams, J.D. McPherson, Pokey Lafarge. I can't even remember most of these. I mean, we've had over 500 shows.
Now, out of all of those, what would you say is the one that stands out the most? It was like, that was the most awesome show we've done ever.
It's got to be Asleep at the Wheel. It's a Western swing band. We presented them 3 different times, once at Down the Beachcomber. And to see that big band on that little stage was really something. But we had been nominated for an Ameripolitan Award for doing the best roots music on the West Coast. And they said, we got to come and play this place. So this 10-piece band came in and showed up on a stage designed for 5 people. We made it work. And it was just the high point of my career.
Yeah, it sounds like it. That would have been an awesome concert. I like that band. I've heard some of their stuff. It would be great to see them in person live. So you keep mentioning roots music, because every time I hear roots music, I think reggae, but you're using it in a very different term. So where does that term come from, and what does it apply to specifically?
I consider roots music to be anything out of the mainstream that has had a history in Americana, from rockabilly to folk to jazz to blues. That's roots music.
Okay, that makes sense. American roots. Yes, I totally get that. That is awesome. Anything else you wanted to add, talking about either of the sides of the business here?
No,
Sure.
just I'm here today for Secret Island, and we want to see you there. So please, if you get a chance to come down to Long Beach, please do.
And I understand Sam is working to get mixologists from Secret Island onto the show. So I'm looking forward to having them on as soon as we can.
You bet.
All right. And when I come out to California, we're going to do a live remote broadcast from Secret Island.
It's a deal.
All right. Perfect. You heard it here. And it's all recorded. I'm just saying. And it's going to be on the internet. Millions of people are going to hear it. So you can't back out now.
I'm ready.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Christopher. Definitely appreciate you coming on. Where the heck did I go? You know, it seems like I've done this enough times. You would think I would have the technology down. And I literally do about 3 or 4 of these every single day. Okay,
Hey, Jeff.
there we go. Yeah.
Hey, Jeff, are you going to play that little video?
Which little video?
Oh, I sent you the link earlier today with the 2-minute video about the history of Secret Island.
Oh, I did not see that. My apologies. Let me get into that here in a little bit. I will definitely play that.
You might use it for a bumper later.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
All
Appreciate
right.
everybody tuning in
Thank
today.
you. All right. So awesome. Yeah. If you haven't been to one of the shows that Stellar Shows puts on, you got to get to them. They do some great stuff. And I've heard a lot of good things about this new tiki bar. So do look forward to getting out to that. That's for sure. All right. So now we're going to jump into our Makani Marketplace. And first up, we've got Luna Customs. And I see, well, you know, I love that, Rochelle. It's like you're sitting right there, ready to go. I don't have to look for you. You're right in the bar. I can see it. And you are muted, so make sure to unmute yourself there.
Are you there? Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you now.
Perfect.
Absolutely. So how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. You know, I always talk about this show being worldwide. We go to the corners of the earth, to the edges of the world. And today we're kind of stretching that. We're going to Hutchinson, Kansas.
Yes.
So I got to ask, and I asked this of people in Indiana, where I live now, and people that are in Idaho and some of the states that you don't typically think of tiki. How in the world did you get into tiki in Kansas?
Well, I've always liked that culture and style of art. Always wished I lived by the beach. All that stuff has inspired me. And so I just do that kind of art in the middle of nowhere, basically.
Well, and it's some amazing art that you're doing.
Thank you.
Do you have some that you can share with us tonight?
Yeah, I will share with you the first one that started it, really. And his name is Cranky Frank. We've actually changed him up since then, but he is actually the first and initial cup that has been made and started it. This is a recent one we did, and it is Cranky Frank's second cousin, twice removed. And this is a kind of like a skull tiki that I did for it's called Lava and Tonic in Wichita, Kansas. They are a tiki style bar. So I did a bunch of those without the handle. This is just the first one that we created for the design work of it.
So now these are these ceramic mugs that you mold? Are they, how do you go about this? Because these are very unique. I've not seen mugs like these before.
Yeah, they are made differently than traditional ways that people create mugs. They are ceramic and glazed on the inside. We make the outside handmade, molded. I don't have molds for any of them. I can make them look pretty identical and close. Like I made 20 of these, but they are all handmade, and then they are hand painted, which each design. And then we coat them in FDA approved epoxy on just the outside. So they're not dishwasher friendly. But yeah, they're a little different, unique process than what typical clay and ceramic artists do.
Yeah, because I was looking at those online. I'm going, these are really cool. How in the hell does she make those?
Yeah, I've had a lot of questions about that.
Because there are some that I saw some that you had, they look like they're tumbler size. Is that right?
Yes, I do tumblers as well. They are just stainless steel tumblers, and then I put the clay on the outside of it and then epoxy and hand paint those as well.
Nice. Okay.
I love the skull you made. It looks like Ahmed the Dead Terrorist.
Yeah. Or Attack from Mars.
Yeah. Very nice. So how did you think of doing this process? You look at a coffee mug and say, I'm going to style that up.
Well, actually, my husband, he was watching Ace of Clay. He's a very big sculpture artist on YouTube. And so we were watching him, and he did a tumbler and different eyeballs everywhere. And we're like, I wonder if we could do that on a mug. And which we like doing the tumblers too, but the mugs were our first step. And we just tried it over COVID pandemic time and seen if we could do it and played with it and kind of finalized it. So. Very
nice. Now, where can we buy these? How do we get things like this? Because those are awesome.
Thank you. Currently, I'm taking all orders through direct message through Instagram and Facebook at Luna Customs. Currently working on a website. These kind of took off pretty fast for what we were considering. And so currently you can put orders in. I can remake any character, any design. It just won't look identical because they are handmade. Right. And it's about a week and a half, 2-week turnaround right now to get them shipped out to you.
Yeah, those are really cool. So how does somebody, when people message you and want to place an order, do they go, just give me a weird looking mug? Do they say, give me Skull? Do they give me Uncle Frank? How do we communicate what it is we're looking for?
Yeah. I've had actually a mixture. I've had people tell me, like, this one was one that someone asked me to create that was, hey, create a skull. That would be cool for our shop. Other ones just say, your choice, have fun. And others prefer for me to remake some of the characters that I've done. Some have even chosen different colors as well.
All right. And apparently we have a fan of your sign behind you. I'm assuming not the Scoresby, but the one above that. I do like that one.
Yes, sorry. That's my dad's.
Oh, awesome. Love that. Yeah, no need to be sorry, believe me. So yeah, I've had a few people comment on that. So that art is awesome.
Thank you.
So you said your husband is a sculptor. Have you been sculpting as well prior to that, or what?
Well,
did you guys
actually,
get into it?
he started playing with clay when he was came back from Texas, because he was working out there for quite some time. He started playing with clay, and then I said, oh, that'll look fun. I should sit down and play with it too. So then we just kind of sit at the table and we do clay together. It's a pretty good deal. We have a lot of fun.
Well, that's awesome that you both are into the same, that have the same interests. I would say hobby, but you guys are obviously going to be making some pretty good money out of this. It's not going to be just a hobby.
Right. Yep.
So that's incredible. Looking forward to seeing your website. We have your social media info in the chat. And just to give us an idea, because I looked and you don't have, like I said, you don't have a website yet. What are we talking about in terms of the general cost for the mugs and things like that, just to give everybody a perspective?
Yeah, currently the tumblers are $70 with $5 shipping in the US. Then I get estimates for outside of the United States. Then the mugs, they are $80 with or without handle, with $5 shipping in the US.
Okay, so if I were to call, all right, I think I know. I've got my idea now. Now I know what I want. I will send you a message because I want to get a tumbler that's a tiki on it.
Okay.
So we'll give you that heads up, give you that head start there. I think that'll be awesome.
Yeah.
Tiki Trail, and it's the whole tiki thing, and I got to do that. So yeah. So awesome. Well, you have some great stuff. Love the mugs. I think they're very unique. And, I've been doing the show this is our 93rd show. The first time I've seen anything like this. So that's why I say ultra unique. And I think they're fun. They're a lot of fun.
Oh, well, thank you. And thank you for having me on the show.
Absolutely. And we've got, there's people, looks like they're lining up already. So that's awesome. Glad to help in that respect. All right. So thank you very much. Definitely appreciate you coming on, Rochelle. Let me see if I can, there we go. Appreciate you coming on. As I said, we've got your information in the chat, and I look forward to seeing more of your work. That's for sure. And let us know when your website's up.
I will. Thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you. All right. So now we're going to move on to our next guest, and let me see. Now, Emily is a little bit trickier. She's hiding apparently. So I have to go. I have to go and find her.
I'm here.
She's mischievous, just like the Muppets. And why?
They're right next to me. I don't know what the mischief is. I've got 3 of them hanging out. So
yeah. So oh my gosh, this is awesome. Emily Engel, BX Custom Sewn. Absolutely love what you're doing. Amazing stuff, really cool. And it's those little guys sitting next to you.
Yep, these are the only ones I currently have in my possession at this point. All of the other ones that I make are immediately rushed out the door. I think people assume I have a gigantic room that's just filled with Muppets, and that's so not the case. Very
That would be
rarely. do
kind
I
of
keep
scary
my
to
word.
walk into, actually. If you're to walk into a room and all these Muppets are looking back at you, that would kind of freak me out a bit.
You know, that's happened. It's happened more than once. I've had a few bald beakers sitting on my couch waiting for hair. Like I'd go to bed because it's just too late for me to finish. And I'd come in the morning without my glasses on, can't see, and there's just bald beakers staring at me. I've gotten frightened a few times.
I would imagine. So, okay, the first question I have to ask, because I got a whole lot of questions here, but the first one I have to ask is copyright infringements.
I'm just gonna leave. Yeah, it's my favorite question. I love that question.
I would imagine you get that
And
quite a bit.
Not as often as you think. I always try to answer this as if I were a politician. You know, I'm not here to take money from anybody. I'm not here to own any kind of industry. And the Jim Henson Company is not what it was in the early 90s. It unfortunately split into an octopus of different companies when the magical Jim Henson passed away. Little bits and pieces are owned by different companies. Sesame Street is its own company. The Muppets are their own company. Henson is his own company. HBO is in there. Time Warner is in there, et cetera, et cetera. It is very split. And that's something a lot of people don't know. It is no longer under the Jim Henson umbrella. What I do is make the secondary characters. I will never make Kermit, Piggy, Fozzie, Gonzo, or Rolf, ever. Those are the lead characters. You can hop on Amazon and find one of their plushes for 20 bucks and have a nice day. And that is totally legal because Disney owns that. I will never replicate those. They aren't my bag. What I do is I offer the things that have not been made in plush form. They are also not puppets. I walk a really tight line here. Yes, I have looked into licensing. I have looked into all of these things. It is not offered. Also, I have been doing this for over a decade. And only once have I ever run into a problem, and it was not with Disney. It was with Sesame Workshop, owned by HBO, owned by Time Warner. They're the only ones that have given me a little knock on the door saying, hey, what are you doing? Got worked out. I think at the end of the day, I'm good advertising.
I would think.
And I really don't, maybe I'm going out on a limb here. I don't think I'm putting a dent in Disney's $65 billion a year salary.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I mean, if they end up destitute, they can blame me. But I think I am just a tiny grain of sand on the Disney beach, and they're not really going to bother with me.
Yeah, I'm always fascinated seeing artists who are inspired by Disney and some of these other properties and Warner Brothers and all of that, and the art they create that's inspired by it. A lot of times they get very close to that line, but at the end, I think you're right. It helps promote what they're doing. And at the end of the day, it's not taking money out of their pocket because they're not selling any of these that you produce.
No, and that's again why I stay away from any of the main characters. I won't touch them. That's theirs. They mass produce them. It's also, as far as I'm concerned, I am honoring the legacy of Jim Henson. I am not honoring Disney. I am not honoring anything else. Just because they own a piece of paper that says they have the rights to them doesn't mean that they are the originators. That they came up with these concepts. I do this out of total admiration for Jim Henson's genius. That's the most pure part of it for me. And I think the people who follow like my Twitter and my Instagram, my social media, they get that I make them the old school way. I don't dress them up in anything in years in 2022 fashion. I always go for the old school look of them. And I like to stay there. And I like to create secondary characters that are not always on screen, because I think those are the most beloved in a lot of ways. Everything I do is in total homage to the originators, and I try to stay there.
Well, you're doing great. I mean, I looked at all the images, and you are spot on with what you have created. How many different characters do you have?
I want to say that must have made close to 25 by now. I mean, every day someone comes at me with a suggestion, or they love the deep cuts, and I love doing the deep cuts. I think those are the greatest. Like, people will come up with things that they saw for 30 seconds on an episode of Sesame Street from 1985, and they have to have this one character. Like, that kind of stuff I love doing. It is a challenge, and it's important to that person. And occasionally you'll get the other people in there that are like, oh my God, I love that 30 seconds of character too. That happened recently with a couple characters from Sesame Street, the Miami Mice. Someone had ordered them. There was like, I don't know, maybe 3 episodes that they were on, poking fun at Miami Vice. Right. And just mice with real 80s hair, and the ice cream colored shirt and the open collars. And that was really fun. A few people did recognize that and go, oh my God, I remember those 3 episodes that they were on. Those are the most fun. Those are the most interesting. And no, you're not going to be, the plush versions of those don't exist.
Yeah.
And now they do.
Man, that's awesome. So Mr. Snuffleupagus, is he a main character, or is he?
Me and Sesame Workshop are not friends right now.
Oh man, that's a bummer.
I actually, I can show you a quick example. The reason we're not friends is because I made this.
Oh.
I also made the yellow guy, who's a friend of his. Okay. And also the guy that lives in the trash can. I made pillow versions of them, who shall remain nameless. Sesame Street didn't really like that too much, and they narked me out to Etsy, who got upset with me. So they are now secret items.
Gotcha. Well, the guys next to you, those, I love them. Animal, I saw Animal. That is absolutely incredible.
Yes, Animal is a favorite. He's really fun to make. My couch ends up turning absolute pink with fur after I'm done making him. He is the patron saint of drummers. I'll put it that way.
And Geico commercials, apparently.
That
now.
Too. I've only seen it once. It was very cute, though. I really liked it.
Yeah, it was cute. So what got you into this? I mean, this is a pretty unique and one-off kind of situation. It's awesome.
It certainly is. I
mean, when they say find your niche, you found like the niche of a niche of a niche.
That is remarkably close to what I do. Yes. I wish I had some fabulous, grandiose story. I started making them in 2010, 2011, something like that. It's been about 10 years. A friend of mine via social media was seeing that I had just started to replicate things into plush. And I was sort of honing in on the skill that I had, that all I really needed was a picture. And then somehow my hands start doing things, and then these things happen, just visual. I don't use patterns. I don't have guidelines. I don't have anything like that. It's show me a picture, I can make it in plush form. So I started honing in on that. And he asked me, have you ever done a Muppet? And I said, no, I have not. And he said, please try your hand at Dr. Teeth. And I said, sure, what the hell? Dr. Teeth came to life. And for a first time Muppet, I'll look back at those pictures from 10 years ago, and Dr. Teeth has always stayed pretty consistent for me. I I like to think he's gotten better and way more detailed, but he was the first that I did, and that sort of kicked it off. And then
Now,
I kept saying, okay,
are you still freestyling, or do you have patterns now for these guys?
where would I get patterns? I mean, those are pretty locked up tight. I would think at this point.
Well, I would figure when you made one that you would use that, you'd replicate, or that is amazing. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but you can say that about really any talent. I know people look at this and go, "Oh my God, how do you do that?" But you could say that about music. You could say that about art. I mean, when you have this talent that you hone in on, it becomes totally mental, and it's just there. It's stored. It's the same thing with me. It's just up there. It's stored. Yes, it's an inherent talent.
That is your superpower for sure.
I suppose so. Yes.
So in 10 years, how many of these little guys have you made? I mean, that's wow.
I wish I knew. I would have to say several hundred at this point. I mean, this past holiday, oh Lord, did I work hard. A bunch of my holiday orders, people wanted the entire Electric Mayhem band, and that's either 5 or 6
Ooh.
characters. That, I mean, people ordered the whole thing all at once. I ended up making,
Wow.
I think 40 or 50 in the month of December alone. It was a lot of work, a lot of work. Yeah, several hundred, I'd say at this point.
That is amazing.
Well, you need to make one for Jeff that is the Dr. Teeth, but he needs a fez on. So I think can you do that? Can we change the pimp hat to a fez
I
hat?
can do anything. I've done a lot of variations of Dr. Teeth. I had one of him with an accordion at one point. I've dressed them up in all sorts of different outfits. My clients come up with some amazingly creative ideas for what they want. I always listen to what it is they want. So if they want a Muppet that's wearing something specific or holding something specific, I try to make that happen. So yeah, I mean, sky's the limit with this stuff. I love hearing other people's ideas.
Yeah,
Well, Jeff, you need one. You need one with a Hawaiian shirt that says Tiki Trail and a fez on it.
there we go. Well, I'll look forward to you ordering one of those up for me, Carmen.
Yes, I want to do the old guy next to her right there because that's what I look like. So you have to look at me all the time. Just put a beard on it.
Yeah, I mean, these are so realistic. I was halfway expecting the old guy to start heckling me as we were talking in the interview.
His partner hasn't been made yet. I haven't had time, unfortunately. I retired these two, irony them being old and everything. I was making them for a while and I sold several sets and then I just sort of stopped. I almost got bored with them in a way because they're human. They weren't that interesting visually to me. So it became sort of monotonous. But since it's been a minute and now I've got creative control over them, I will absolutely end up making his buddy again and throwing them out there for the public. Actually, just so everybody knows, this guy was made last night. I wanted to have somebody new with me for this. So I slapped Pepe together, posted him, I think this morning / last night. He's currently making his rounds around Twitter right now. But he was one that's been requested over and over and over. Question mark about how I can get it into the hands of others because Disney hovers around here. Because he's become a major character, which is interesting. He was the star of their last the Muppets Haunted Mansion, which came out in October. He was the main guy. So as of right now, he's just gonna hang out here with me.
Oh, that is too bad. Sounds like I need to make a trip to Massachusetts and
no, it's 19 degrees here, just so you know.
Well, I'm in Indiana, so it's not much different for me. So that is, what would you say is the most requested one? Is it Dr. Teeth? Who would be the most requested? Really?
And I ended up having to do a pre-order thing for him. I did that back in December. I only took a certain amount just to start off with. That was a very quick line that filled up. He's my favorite. And this one's not going anywhere. This one's going to be with me forever. This is the first Sweetums that I made. And as soon as people saw him, they said, yep, that one, that's the one. He's never existed in plush form ever. I think they used to have like little statues of him or little action figures, but other than that, I want to say I made the first plush version of him. I could be totally wrong, but I will take that credit.
Well, absolutely incredible. We've got your information in the chat, and I know people can order right there from the website. I'm blown away. I mean, I'm always fascinated if people can mold clay or paint. I mean, image in my head,
I just like to mention those mugs. The zombie mugs are incredible. I had messaged her on Instagram when I saw her work was being posted. I was blown away by it. Like those are beautiful. And
aren't they?
I cannot draw to save my life. Like, do not put a paintbrush anywhere near me because it would be a disaster. Just that's not that kind of art. Absolutely is beautiful. Nothing I could ever do. So total respect for that. Total respect for all the different art forms. Like, you wouldn't want me to hold an instrument either. Trust me. That's just out of my scope. Totally. So
yeah, that's why I was a DJ on the radio instead of, I played music that were 12-inch records, not, the instruments themselves. So I understand that. But your talent is definitely top notch, and love all those little guys. And yeah.
I want to interrupt. I'm going to be another one. What about doing Punchy that's right there by Jeff? Can you do something like that? I think I might have to buy
Who owns the copyright?
Nobody. Jeff drew that up. That's a picture he drew himself.
Who's this guy? That's I don't know on that one. That would be pretty funny though. But
I love doing like any kind of stuff like that. I mean, I absolutely could replicate that. I mean, you show me a picture, I can make it happen. But Muppets just happen to be the thing that everyone seems to love right now. So I'm going with it.
That is absolutely, just like I said, blown away. You're taking all these pieces of fabric and you're just piecing them all together, and that's incredible.
And my mind isn't there when it's happening usually. Like I'm thinking about doing laundry, or, I'm watching gory true crime shows on Netflix, or, things happen in here. I don't know.
Well, keep it up. Keep doing that, because this is some killer art that you've got going on.
Thank you.
So very much appreciate you coming on. Go out to the website, follow her on Instagram. You can see all the different Muppets. Absolutely amazing. So good stuff. All right. Thank you very much, Emily.
Thanks for having me.
Let's see. Now we're going to go to Ryan Solski. There you are, smack dab front and center. Let me add you into the old spotlight here. How are you doing there, Ryan?
I'm doing okay.
So welcome to the show. You, sir, are coming on at the end of the show. We've had some amazing artists tonight. The good news is you're keeping pace with them. There's no letdown here. So let's talk about what you're doing.
Well, I'm like the sculpture artists that have been on, are the musicians. I'm more of a traditional cartoonist or comic strip kind of artist. I'm turning 40 in March, so I've been at this for a little while. And I'm in Ontario, and I graduated, I guess, in 2005 from the Ontario College of Art and Design. I've had deep roots in the comic conventions and all those things, and kind of work my craft. The one that was kind of getting famous there on some of the feeds was this one.
Yeah.
And I think it might have also attracted, because of the beach theme in that.
Well,
From Betty and Veronica from Archie's.
Yeah, absolutely. And mid-century modern is a key component to just about any tiki bar these days. So when I saw your stuff, I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing.
I do a whole process with the iPad for coloring it up and giving it a more vintage look, and even the color palettes and the textures and that, making it look as if it's from the 60s or 70s.
And it's funny. We've had a lot of comic artists on, and they tend to skew towards either the superhero or the horror side. Now, for me, whatever reason, when I was a kid, I don't know, I got my fill of Richie Rich and the Archies and Casper and all those silly ones. Maybe not so silly anymore. I probably should have kept them. I probably made good money on that. But so
that's true.
How did this become where your focus was?
For me, I've tackled a lot of things. Tackled imagination, fantasy realms of fantastic creatures and aliens and superheroes and you name it. I've probably tried to draw it. Stuff like the Jack Kirby characters, even in that style, I've done that even recently, and also done other artists that I'm inspired by, like Steve Ditko and Gene Colan. They were famous in their day for Marvel and DC. I'm very much a classicist when it comes to drawing. I like the practice in either trying to replicate a drawing, like looking at it and then doing all the penciling and inking, or coming up with my own idea or my own spin on something. But I found that nowadays I've had a lot of attention for the Archie characters, especially Betty and Veronica, and I found that they're something that I found easy to draw, or at least not effortless, but something that I really feel for, and I can also understand the content, and I think there's something universal about them, especially with Instagram, being a broad audience, but people generally are attracted to things that they recognize. So I do that. Although I also do my own thing, and I do a lot of commissions where people are asking for me to draw something kind of in the style of Archie's or in the style of Jack Kirby or someone else, and I'll do that too.
And so with the art that you do, what's the most popular? What are people tuning into the most of what you're doing? Is it around the piece?
I found that the Betty and Veronicas are quite popular. The Jack Kirby ones, I know in every October there's this, during Inktober, there's a Jack Kirby list. And that's always, whenever I've done that, I've gone up a couple hundred followers. People seem to really engage with it. Or to ask me to do a small drawing, that style. Like I do these sketch cards, which are kind of like trading cards, about 2.5 by 3.5 inches. And I've done probably 500 or 600 of those for trades and for sales, where I'll draw sometimes a favorite picture, a favorite character. I remember Moon Knight, he's kind of trending right now. Did that a couple of years ago. A couple of people really like that. And I remember that post this is back when I had a couple hundred followers, and I think I matched my follower count with the amount of likes. So that was not something that always happens.
Nice. Yeah. No, that's really good. So ask the same question that I asked earlier to Emily. So, because your Archie stuff, I mean, man, it's like spot on. It looks almost identical. You've not heard anything. You're able to live free and clear and do your work, do what you do.
It's actually funny because I've had the opposite experience. I've had a couple individuals, I can't really name names, just for their own privacy, who've come forward who worked for Archie's or are working for Archie's. They introduced themselves to me. but they've actually done it in kind of a congratulatory way,
Nice. Okay.
more than the other way around. And there's I guess like having done conventions, I know I'm not. I know how to speak to other artists and to other writers and publishers and stuff like that. So it's usually, they understand that I'm not doing it to print the material as my own comic book. I think at that point I might overstep it. Like if I was to draw a Betty and Veronica comic and publish it myself and try to sell it, I might get into trouble there.
And I think if you drew Betty and Veronica, in not so nice kind of way, you draw them nude, I think the Archies probably would come down on you on that.
They probably would. I'm actually, I'm not a prude or anything, but I do think that I go as far as how they're depicted in the comic book. So tasteful. If they wear a bikini, then that's what they're wearing, or a foxy sort of swimwear, that's good. Or inversely, if Archie or Jughead is topless because they're at the beach, that makes sense. I don't have to draw nipples on them or anything, but I try to keep it at least a bit tasteful, because I find that I also attract a lot of children and teenagers to my page, so that way at least keep it PG friendly. Yeah, no, and it's some great work that you're doing. So let me ask the question, just to help for everybody who's watching. How do people order your stuff? Is it because I've seen you have some merchandise and you have some of the paintings that you have. Do you do commission if they say, hey, I'd love to have the Archies doing this kind of thing, and as long as it fits guidelines? I mean, is that the kind of thing you do? Is that what we'd be looking at? Well, I often take direct messages on Instagram for people who are interested in, talk to me about a commission, or I've done a number of digital commissions just recently where people, they have an idea and they want me to draw it, and then I'll email them the file and they'll just PayPal me for it. But I often do original artwork, which I'll mail out. And my prices are generally low by most people's standards, but to me it's an enjoyable price, and most of the art that I would do for a commission doesn't take more than 10 hours for a drawing. Yeah, no, that makes sense, and that's kind of cool. So if I said, oh, I want to have the Archies at a tiki bar with Jughead behind serving up the drinks kind of thing, that's something that you would do then. Yeah, that's definitely something I can do. Like I know right now there was one guy who wanted me to do a 2-page comic strip. Yeah, it's about 6 or 7 panels on each page in the Archie style, with these toys he has drawn as Archie style characters. And I said, wow, that's going to be a bit of work. But I agreed to it. And stuff like that, where sometimes it's outside of the just the very easy things, but something like what you mentioned would to me instantly I think of like full color, kind of like a cover image or a poster style image. Man, so you've already as soon as I mentioned the idea, you're like, boom, I can see it in my head. Yeah. Well, I've been drawing for I guess in high school, I started taking it seriously. That would have been back in the mid-90s, and where people were asking me ideas to draw things. So I was a big time comic reader at that time. So I often, would think about things and visualize it. But having drawn pretty much every day, the past 25 years at least, kind of just it's more automatic. Yeah, I would. Especially if it's a good idea too. Like the tiki bar idea is pretty good. Yeah, and I think that'd be fun. I think it'd be real fun. So yeah, we're gonna talk. Man, that's the thing with this show. I'm going broke, dude. Well, I have all you amazing artists on, and it's like, oh my God, I'm buying everything. I'm going broke. Yeah.
Had to move into a big house to be able to put all the art and everything that I get from this show. So yeah, love your stuff. And like I said, you're the comics that the style that you're doing, that's kind of what I grew up on, is seeing those kind of cartoons. So I'm going to ask the eternal question: Betty or Veronica?
I'd probably say Veronica, right? Because I could always take a rich woman. She would never get really mad because I ran out of money on a date.
I like the thought process there. Smart man. All right, so we've got all your info in the chat. Go check out the art if you haven't seen it. This is some really cool stuff, and it's going to take you back to your days, your high school days.
I think I have a couple, like more than 2,000 posts now. So.
Yeah, dude, you're prolific.
Most people say that they start looking through it and then they realize that they're not going to get to the end of it because it would take too long. So it was a while there I was posting 3 or 5 posts a day just because I was turning out that many drawings. So yeah, there's definitely a lot there. If you're an Archie's fan, I'm sure you'll be pleased. But I've also done a lot of DC and Marvel characters in the past too.
Yeah, you're kind of like the how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Tootsie Pop?
Exactly.
How many swipes does it take to get to the bottom of your newsfeed? The world may never know. All right. Keep up the good work. Like I said, love what you're doing, man. It's great stuff. And we got to talk about the Archies at a tiki bar. I think that'd be killer.
For sure. Just contact me about it. It's good.
I will do that. And see, I'm putting all these ideas out there for free for everybody. So, that's the sharing kind of guy I am. Thanks for joining us tonight, Ryan. Again, another Canadian.
Thanks,
We've had like a bunch of Canadians on the show tonight.
Well, it's funny where I am. I'm in kind of the heart of the blizzard that Sarah was talking about earlier. I'm in the Niagara region, kind of close to Buffalo, on the Canadian side of the border. And we had about 2.5 feet of snow come down yesterday.
Oh,
and it was packing snow. So it's not even that fluffy stuff. It's that, you step in it, and most of my neighbors, their vent out from their furnaces, the gas, were clogged with snow. So their furnaces turned off. So it was, I don't even want to tell you about the negative temperatures, but yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it's believe me, I grew up in the Midwest. I don't know why I'm back, but I grew up in the Midwest, so I remember those temperatures and those days. I remember getting snow, up to here kind of thing. And I'm glad that we're not getting that right now. So sorry, we're sending it your way apparently.
Well, don't worry, we get it for a month or 2 here of snow, and then it's back into spring.
Yes, springtime in Canada. So hopefully I'll be able to see that here soon. COVID will be done by then. We'll actually be able to travel to Canada.
I hope so.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us, Ryan. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Well, that does it for tonight's episode. I can't share what's happening next week, but I will tell you, it's going to be as good as what tonight was, if not even better, because Sam always brings great artists. But tonight, man, what amazing lineup. Love seeing all the different artists that we had, the unique stuff. I think just about everything tonight was unique. That's for sure. So do appreciate you guys joining us. This show is recorded, so if you're watching on YouTube, thanks, appreciate that. Mahalo. If you are here with us live, a mahalo as well. But hang around because we're going to be doing the after hour show here in just a couple minutes. So back to you guys that are maybe watching on YouTube. Join us every Tuesday night, 6 o'clock Pacific, 9 o'clock Eastern, right here on Zoom. We do a Zoom cast so people can engage and chat. You heard some of the people talking earlier tonight, and now we're all going to be chatting together. So that's why we do it on a Zoom platform. I've had people ask, why don't you use Instagram Live or Facebook Live? It's the ability to have that interaction for people to be able to ask questions and for us to talk to one another, like if we were actually there in person, because there's no way we're going to have people from Ontario and Kansas and Southern California and Indiana. We're not going to have everybody all brought together any other way. So we love doing this. We're going to keep it going. We're excited. We're coming up on our 100th show. Can you believe that? 100. That just blows me away. So we're getting pretty excited about what's going to happen for that. Any rate, that's going to be it for tonight's episode. Thank you for joining. Appreciate you coming on. And until next week, Jeff Ballard here with Tiki Trail Live. Check out our Facebook posts, check out our Instagram, tikitrail.com, the whole thing. And make sure you're following us and checking out what we're doing, because we're trying to bring you some really cool people. And I think we're doing it so far. So anyway, mahalo. Appreciate you for joining. And until next week, aloha.
Tiki Trail Live.